Good evening, it's Gene from mavstar Observatory. I've done it again, guys. I've made another discovery and observation. This time it's about 8:30 here in the UK, and I noticed that the moon is white and round. Lightning can strike twice in one day, and it has done today. 2 observations with equal merit. And are you telling me I cannot beat with this discovery Ralph Harris to that Nobel Prize? It's mine. This time I'm going to win it with that. And you're right, the links are down there. It's £50. It's nothing. Now, on the video this morning, I can understand people getting upset. It was like 70 or odd thumbs down on it. And I understand why that is, because of the poor observations I made with the tree this morning. So I'm going to do a little bit better job this time, and we're going to do a more thorough job, because after all, guys, you know I'm a scientist, a great scientist, and I can do better than what I did this morning. I mean, we just can't test for oxygen and, you know, like we did, temperature, because there's more to it. As you can see, in this light, the phosphorescent shines all over the tree. And you know what I didn't even notice this morning? But look at this. Some of the fruit on this tree is actually translucent. So not only we got phosphorescence, we got translucence. A little bit later on, we're going to do some real scientific analogy on this. We're going to take off just a little piece. We're not going to hurt the tree. We're going to be very careful. Just snip off a little bit with some surgical equipment. I'll show you. It's not torturing the tree. I'm sure it won't harm it. And we're going to test the actual branch or one of the stems on there for how much moisture is in there, because it will tell us a lot about the actual species of this tree. Now, my first observations, and you know, I didn't even mention it this morning, but to the touch, it feels like plastic. And what we could be dealing with here is a species which scientists have been looking for a hell of a long time. What am I talking about? I'm talking about a completely new life form, as was expected by some scientists, made from not carbon but from silicon. And this could be it, guys. Now, it's unusual. As you can see, it gives off phosphorescence, glows all around, so it must be synthesizing somehow. And a little bit later on, we're going to have a look to see if we can see its chloroplasts. But what I really am interested in showing you guys is the rooting system, and to this we've got to be careful we don't knock off the low hanging fruit on the tree. I'm just going to move out some of this junk that I'll be giving away later on this year to some family members. As we can see down here under the tree, the root system, and you can see it's got 4 stems that seem to just barely touch the floor. So maybe you can make that out. There they are. Look. I know it's dark under here. It's quite quiet actually. This is a good opportunity to tell you about a few plans I've got for the observatory, and we can raise some real big money, guys. Make sure the kids are out of the way. Alright, we don't want the kids hearing this, because you know loose lips sink ships. Yeah, you know these little kids are like blah 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 in the playground. Next minute, one of the teachers here, what's going on? The whole plan's blown. Now, you know I'm always trying to raise money for this observatory, right? It's magnetometers, it's muon detectors, it's always something. And I think I've got a way of raising money for this observatory a little bit different. Make sure the kids are out of the way. Right, get them out of the way, because we don't want them hearing this, because they will give away our plans. Okay, so my plan is this. Right, there's a fat guy that comes around this time of the year riding a big flash sledge. You probably know who I'm talking about, but we're not going to mention his name. He's got loads of names anyhow, he doesn't matter. He's got a great big beard. He's got this big flash reindeer, one with a big glowing nose, And he's got this amazing, he rides a sledge, right? This thing can fly. Yeah, now the problem point is there, guys, is if we can get hold of that sack that he's got in the back of that sledge, and I've got a buyer, yeah, there earlier on this year, when I was out in Dubai on my honeymoon, it weren't just, I've got to be careful because sometimes the wife watches these videos, but there was more than one purpose of going to Dubai. It's actually to meet the king over there, because he's interested in the sack. Yeah, and my point is this, we're going to nick it, yeah, but we've got to find a way of getting hold of it. Now, you've probably seen the same thing as what I have on the internet. Yeah, there's a tracker, you can track this guy as he's making his journey all through the night. And at a particular point when he comes over Coventry in the West Midlands here, we're not going to hurt him, really, but what I'm thinking, yeah, is getting a few pounds raised to start with, yeah? And we can probably buy a Sam's missile launcher, modify it a little bit, yeah? And what I'm targeting, yeah, is the heat-sensitive area on that flash reindeer at the front of Santa's flock, right? And what I'm going to do is tune up the SAM missile to launch just as he's coming over, and I know exactly when that will be. It will be at the point on the computer. We'll see him just as he comes over. I think them SAM's missiles are good for a good 40 miles, yeah? And we're going to put a heat-seeking missile on Rudolph's ass. I don't think it will kill him. It's going to stun him, yeah, knock the sledge out of the sky, and we nick the sack. Now, like I said, the king in Dubai is well up for this. He's told me if I can get that sack, 20 million he'll give for it, and that'll sort us out at the observatory for a long time. We won't have to ask anybody else for another dime. What do you think? What do you think about the plan? You give it some thought. £20 million for that sack. We don't want to kill him. We don't want to harm the reindeers. We just want to knock them out of the sky. That sack, right, produces toys like nobody's business. It's like, if you looked into that sack, it's like the TARDIS. Yeah, it doesn't end. It's like an Amazon warehouse. It just doesn't end. So the toys can keep coming in. And to be honest with you, the king over there, he's got a bit of a thing for wooden toys, and we know them elves don't even make proper toys. It's all wood, rubbish, junk, you know. And it's all the same colours, isn't it, as well? Red, green, everything's pine. It's just like an IKEA nightmare. So, anyway, let's get on to some serious science, right? As we can see, the root system is unusual. What I'm going to do now, guys, is some real science. Okay, I'm going to carefully, with some equipment. We need some equipment, and you know, we've got a few other tests. I'm not sure what sort of species we're really dealing with here. But what we're going to do, we're going to get the Geiger counter in. We're going to put a clamp meter on some of this phosphorescent stuff. We're going to work out how much actual energy and photosynthesis that's even if it is doing it, or whether it's, you know, this particular tree. I mean, we could be dealing with a new species, but we could also be dealing with a tree that has been, like, you know, on the knockoff from Chernobyl or something. It just glows naturally. But you know, we've got to do science. We've got to check it. So that's what we're going to do now, guys. We're going to do some real science, and hopefully those people that thumbed down the video in the last one won't thumb it down this time, because they'll see that there's been work put involved, and if you're working hard, then who can be upset about that? Hey, let's go and get some tools. Here we are, guys, look at this. Jack the Ripper's toolkit. I've been waiting for an opportunity to use some of this stuff. I've had this in my bug-out bag for a long time. Look at this. We've got everything here. We're not going to torture the species, we're just going to test it. Remember, we just want to take a snip off it. So, we've got a few other things here. We've got a... we really need some more light on the subject, guys. Hang on. Oh, let's cue the lab lights. Here we go. Look at this. Oh, we've got all the toys out here. And we've got some highly flammable equipment. We're going to do a little bit of test with the speedy moisture thing. Oh, this is going to be exciting, guys. Okay. I think I know how to use these. We're just going to clamp off one of these little segments. Should we go for it? Look at this. Just there. That one there. Just going to clamp you off. 4 snips. There we go. Okay, we need something to remove it with. Something sharp. Oh, scalpel. You don't feel a thing, my darling. Here we go. Just lop that off. Just a minute, guys. I want you to see exactly what we're doing. It's not torturing the tree. I mean, we're not sick or anything like that. That didn't work. Got to go again. That could be classed as torturing. It can't be that sharp, this thing. Oh, got it. Look at that. There we go. I'll show you what we're going to do with that. Right, okay. Put the sample there. I'm just going to undo this. It's like something out of, I don't know. Yeah, it looks pretty clean in there. It's good to go. Okay, just put the sample in. Go on. There we are. Okay. Right. The whole purpose of this, guys, is that we can test exactly. Right. I know there's a bit of merchandise there. I know. Look at that. I know they might have me for ripping off the Chanel logo, but you can see what I'm going to say is it's C-O and a 2. You can see that, can't you, guys? Look. There's the C, the O in the middle, and the 2. Look at that. So genius, I am. So genius. Okay, I've got to put this down because this don't want to open. Right, what we've got here is, I believe, some calcium carbide. Now, why we're using calcium carbide in the speedy moisture detector is if there's any moisture in that sample we've put in there, we should get a bit of gas build up, because when calcium carbide comes in contact with H2O, you get a reaction and it gives off acetylene gas. I'm telling you now, guys, if you've got a mold problem, just put a bit of this down in the hole and it'll mix with the moisture in the earth and kill the mold. No problem. Anyway. Oh, double sealed. Okay, because we have to really be careful. This stuff reacts with moisture in the air, so we don't want to blow nothing up. Just bear with me a minute. I've got to get something to prise that off. Jeez. Oh. Just give me a second, guys. It's coming. Got to be careful I don't end up with stitches. I've got to sew up my own finger. Yes, I've certainly got the equipment to do it. Ain't going to be a very good video for anyone. No, I'm struggling to get this lid off, and opening it with a scalpel is not the best thing. Just bear with me. We're nearly there. Come on. We're nearly there, guys. Oh, she's coming. So you have to really keep this lid on tight, because this stuff does not like oxygen or moisture. There we go. Whoa, voila. There we go. Super highly flammable calcium carbide. Here we go. Now for this sample, we just need 1 scoop, a special scoop here for this. There we go. Right. This is science there, this is chemistry. Ooh, the smell of that stuff. Ooh. We'll put the lid back on that ASAP, because we don't want the tin blowing up the whole house. Here we go. Now, what we should get, if there's any moisture, and it would be very unusual if there was no moisture in the sample. There's nothing on the diameter yet. Give it a rigorous shake. It's not showing much at the moment, guys. This is unbelievable. We're just halfway. While we're waiting for that, we'll give it a few minutes. As we can see, we're not quite finished on the background count, but it's low, so it's good. We'll just see what happens when we put the clamp meter on some of the phosphorescence there. Hang on. Does this thing even work? It's probably been a long time since I've put batteries in the thing. And here we go. Let's set it. What should we set it at? Okay, we'll put it on the lowest setting. We'll just see if we're pulling anything at all through that. Have we got anything? Nothing. Absolutely nothing on the clamp meter. Unusual. So what is causing that phosphorescence? After zooming, I've got a great camera here, we can zoom right in just to see if we can see the chloroplasts. It doesn't appear to be any chloroplasts. Nothing at all. It's unusual. It's unusual. Oh, I really don't know. Okay. There's another moisture tester here. Everything's got no batteries in this. It's sort of a laboratory, is this? There we go on the moisture tester. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay. We've got the background radiation test. Now I'm going to put it right on the tree. See if we've got a radiation build up. I'm just going to leave that on there for a bit. We'll see. We'll come back at that later. So, doesn't seem to be any moisture, and this is unusual, guys. Right, because we're using science now. There's nothing. But, you know, you always have to test everything in science. So I think what we should do is go and get a bit of water, just to make sure. We'll add a bit of moisture to the sample and see if that speeds up the reaction. Bear with me. I've decided just to test our equipment. As you can see, right down in there is our sample, and you can see the calcium carbide hasn't reacted with anything, and therefore hasn't created any acetylene glass. Now, if there had been moisture in there, then we would have got a pressurised reading on the scale on the bottom, but there wasn't. So it's always best to test your equipment. Ooh. Ooh. Jeez, did you see that reaction straight away? Ooh, it stings. Oh, it's going to get that on there, tight. Let's see if we get a reaction off this. I'm just going to let that. I think we might have lost all the gas already. Maybe the device is the problem. I don't know. We'll come back to it. That's a strange. That is strange. Even the equipment don't seem to be working. But this is about 60 years old anyhow. You know, I should send this over to them farmers in the United States that are having problems drying the crop. But there you go. Valve on the speedy moisture detector had seized and the pressure was building up, and I released the screw on the top and gas leaked out into the living room, and I thought, yeah, it's not a good idea. If I light a cigarette up later on, I can blow the whole place up. So I've put that outside. I think it requires a little bit more analysis and a bit more time thinking about the species of tree that we've got in the living room. And I'm sure we'll work it out, you know. It's like everything else, everything can't come in one day. I mean, we've had 2 results this morning. One was the sun being yellow and round, and this evening, a white moon and round. The point is, getting back to our little plan to save the observatory. I've been investing a little bit of time in this little turbine engine, as you can see there. the turbo. There's the intake. It needs a bit of work because the shaft's a bit loose in there, but you know what I'm thinking is powering our missile with a few sensors on to lock onto the heat signature of Rudolph coming over. Now, the reason why I wanted to target Rudolph is at the front. You bring that one down at the front, the rest will follow. It's the same analogy. All these psychopaths use. You can always target the one and bring down the rest. It's like when they got Saddam Hussein, you know, they got him first, got him, brought him down, took him out of the game. The country was theirs. Same with all the others anyhow. You know, so the point is this. There's £20 million up for grabs if we get the sack. 20 million. It's like, you know, the synchronicity of this. 20 million people will die. 20 billion people will die. And we get £20 million if we sell the sack to the King of United Arab Emirates. The numbers are the same. There could be something in there. Numerology. We just don't know. We can't always shut down. You know, train of thought. We've got to think. But the point is this. There is a way forward. Think about it. We should raise a few quid, finish off the jet engine, build the missile. We've got a small window of opportunity. We know he's coming over. New Year's night. Christmas Eve, sorry. And there's a buyer lined up already in Dubai who's got a bit of a fetish for these IKEA toys, these little creatures elves build. And I can understand also why some people got a bit upset yesterday when I said there's 20 billion people going to die in the next so often. And they're thinking to themselves, because our viewers are smart, they're thinking to themselves, hang on a minute, Gene must be crazy. 20 million viewers. I mean, 20 billion people dying. How can that be? There's only 7 billion of us on the planet. But you don't understand something else. Atmospheric, stratospheric linkage between our planet and Mars. We're not just going to kill ourselves with the rising CO2 levels. We're going to kill them on Mars as well. And you never even knew there was people on Mars. There's got to be like 13 million, 13 billion on there. If we're gonna, if 20 billion are going to die, you know, we've also got to include them as well. Something might, you know, I think what it might be is this new theory that Thunderbolt's project have come out with. You know, the linking of the sun to the Earth, to Venus, to Mars, and then back to the Earth, and then back to the sun. And there's all these things in common. And there is definitely synchronicity in this. All these planets around